He got us out of debt 15 years sooner with the same exact amount of money. So it's basically a no new money product. The amount of money a person is currently putting toward their debt, most Americans at that time, we were paycheck to paycheck. Say that's $1,500. We take that same $1,500 and build a financial house for them from the ground up. We also help them dream a little bit.
Hi, Angela.
Hi, Steph. How you doing?
I'm good. So this is
Good.
Angela Street. I'm Steph Simmons. I'm so happy to welcome Angela today. Her and her husband, Kevin, own and operate a financial firm, Street Smart Associates, right?
Yes.
Yes, got it. Where you teach financial literacy from the streets and help people build smart wealth.
Yes, absolutely. You
So
like
I
that little
asked
play on
Angela.
words there?
Oh, I love it. I love it. So I asked Angela to join me and let me interview her on my YouTube channel. So I'm so happy that she was as excited as I am to be
Yes, I'm
here and do
honored.
that. So I wonder if you could just give me a little background about like how you got to where you are right now,
Mhm. Right. Yeah.
um, and just like how you got to opening this business.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to. So thanks so much for having me today, Steph. Like you said, I'm really
Absolutely.
excited about it. Uh, we've been here about a decade, 10 years. And before that, I ran a competitive dance team. I loved it. We were all in. My daughter grew up there. I was there 50 to 60 hours a week, but I didn't mind it. I really loved what I was doing. And I'll try to make a long story a little bit short here, put it in a nutshell. My husband was not on board for coming up with a financial plan with an advisor. So he worked at UPS, thought we were good with everything there. Then he lost a good friend in a car accident. That's when he realized we were not good with everything at work. And, he was open to the idea of getting some extra help. And so we did. And then we found out that there's a class you could take through the state of Michigan. And I drug him along to that class. We took it. He thought it was the best thing ever. Wasn't intending on having a business. Then the dance studio that I was at for 40 years, I was there since I was 5 years old.
Whoa.
She sold it. And via text message, I got a little message that I'd find a better opportunity elsewhere. So,
Whoa.
yes,
That must have been a
after
shock to
all
the
those
system.
years, it was a
That's a
shock.
long time.
Hmm.
So the course that you guys took, was this a course like teaching people how to be smart about their finances, or was it a course teaching you how to teach other people?
It was a course teaching how to teach other people. So it was a course to
Okay,
get your license, but through that process, it's really a course that should be taught in school, whether someone
of
wants to go into
course.
this profession or not. It was all the information I believe we should be taught. And then if you decide to take the test after, then you can also have the, professional license if you pass the test. So
Right. Wow.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
So your previous financial planner must have made a big impact on you as to what
Mhm.
they did with you in order to you think, wow, I could do this.
Yes, he did. I was amazed. It was like he took this magic wand, Steph, and circled it at our table. He got us out of debt 15 years sooner with the same exact amount of
Wow.
money we were currently paying toward our debt. He increased our retirement substantially by only adding $50 a month for a Roth because unfortunately, like most Americans at that time, we were paycheck to paycheck. So we were, in a situation where we needed to work with what we had. And then we were
Right.
able to get a private life insurance policy as well for the same exact amount of money that we're already putting toward those things. And he did it in
Yeah.
such a simple manner that my husband teases me, Steph. He says, all you knew before this were the numbers 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's true, I wasn't necessarily a numbers person. So it was important that he broke it down very and simplified it for me. It was great.
Right.
Hmm.
So what kind of clients do you typically work with?
That's a great question. Clients that other people depend on their finances and they do currently have some resources. I really love to help families that we call them the macho scale. So say they're married, they're between the ages of 25 and 65, they have children, they own a home and they have an occupation. Four
Mhm.
or five of those pointers are great people to work with because it shows that, they have a financial responsibility, which means someone else is counting on them besides them. So
Right.
generally speaking, they're more interested. So I like to work with people who are interested in their own finances, of course, so I can help them help themselves.
Right. So that point that you made about your financial planner helped you to like kind of reorganize things, but using the same amount of money. I remember you saying that when we had met previously. I just met Angela. So
Yeah.
we've only been on one Zoom together, like
Yes. It
getting
was
to
a
know each other.
great connection. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're in the same, we're in a program together. So
Hmm.
that's how we met. And
Yes.
So I remember you saying in that meeting that that's what you now do also, is
Mhm.
just help people use the same amount of money, but just kind of
Right.
reworking it. Do you want to explain that a little bit?
Yes, for sure. So it's basically a no new money product is what we like to say. So the amount of money a person is currently putting toward their debt, toward taxes, toward insurances, toward savings, and toward retirement, again, say we say that's, I don't know, $1,500. I'm just
Hmm.
giving a ballpark. We take that same 1,500 and build a financial house for them from the ground up, making sure that that's being put to the best use. So just to give you an example, the foundation of a financial house, there's two layers. One of the foundations is emergency savings, which obviously that would make sense to most people, right?
Yeah.
The other piece of the foundation is life insurance. The reason being, we believe it should be called income replacement. So say we have a
Right.
great retirement going, a great savings, and we have a great plan to get out of debt. Well, if that breadwinner passes away tomorrow, guess what's funding all the other pieces of that house is
Right.
their income. So we make it make sense, make it make common sense and work better for them.
So insurance that would more than replace their income, I assume, and
Correct.
those kinds of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the next 10
Yeah.
years, if possible, then we just work our way up the ladder.
Yeah. Oh, very interesting. So
Mhm.
when you go about meeting with people, are you also looking for a certain kind of mindset?
Hmm. Yes, that is the great man. These are some good questions, Steph. So
Well, they're
yes,
just off the top of my mind. I'm being guided.
I love it. I love it. And same, we didn't pre-plan. I didn't know what you
No,
were
we
going to
didn't.
ask
I didn't
me,
give
and
her any
that's
questions.
no, no, you did not. Yes, basically the mindset to want to do better, help yourself financially, and put yourself in a better spot. The difference too with what I like to point out is obviously what we do is with numbers. It's logical. It's on a spreadsheet. It's on a piece of paper per se for those of us that are old school. But what I also like to encourage is say someone wants to start a business in the next couple of years or go on a dream vacation or do those things. We also help them dream a little bit, as well, not so
Amazing.
literal on the paper. Obviously, we
Yeah.
start there, but also what else can we do? Let's think of some other ideas. So I also like to help them think outside the box as
Yeah.
well. And
Well,
to the
because what's it
point
all
of,
for,
yep, go
right?
ahead.
Like if you're just doing your day to day and saving and doing
Right.
things, and right, it's kind of like boring, right? So where's the
Exactly.
excitement? And so you help them like
Yes.
dream and have
Yes.
bigger goals maybe than what they might
Right.
have
Yeah.
thought
And
of
how do
before.
wealthy people think?
Yeah.
That's what, I had a great upbringing, but we were middle class, I would say, and we were never taught
Hmm.
what wealthy people know because my parents didn't know. So now that's our goal to teach people how to think a little differently. Hmm.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting. I was reading this book for my book club called We Should All Be Millionaires. It's really
Mm.
great because it talks about, it's a lot to do with women and why it's so important for women to establish wealth for themselves. Just
Yes.
simply because we tend to use that wealth to distribute it and lift more people.
Others
So
up.
anyway, she was talking about the difference between, people who focus on making money versus people who focus on simply just saving money and cutting costs and all of that. So she
Right.
teaches you how to focus on, okay, instead of like not having your $8 coffee every day or whatever, not
Right.
to remove that luxury from yourself, but to find a
Yes.
way to bring in the income to support it as opposed to
Increase that.
removing it. Yeah.
Yes. And that's a great way to put the mindset here. We do go through a budget with people. However, we don't work to change people's habits. Number one, that
Hmm.
doesn't work. Let's look at where you're already spending the money anyway, and
Right.
we have to with certain things, with debt and taxes and all of that,
Yeah.
and make it work better. But yes, there's a trend happening right now, and it's called the Great Transference of Wealth.
Mm.
And most of that money from the baby boomer generation, literally $80 trillion stuff is changing hands from one generation to the next. And there was a
Yeah.
statistic that was put out that above 60% of that money will be in the hands of women. More women are
Right.
running their households
Mm.
as far as the money managers as well. So it's
Yeah.
really important that we know, what to do with it and how to invest it, how to
Yeah.
use
It's interesting. When I was a financial planner, like 10, I don't know, or 10 years ago, I went into my son's classroom. As like grade seven, I think. And of course,
it.
my mentor at the financial firm I was at always talked about how we're never taught what to do with a $20 bill. So that was kind of his analogy, right? Is that
Oh,
you're
I like
never
it.
taught what to do with money.
Hmm.
And it's so true, like you said, like in school, you don't really learn. that 70/20 or whatever. There's all the different
Right.
formulas, but you just don't
Correct.
learn any of it, which is shocking. And I
It
remember
is.
being in his classroom and talking to everybody, and you think, like, are these kids even listening to me? Because you're talking about
Right.
money
They're
and
glazed. Yeah.
math and
Yes.
all that.
Yes.
But there was one kid who came to me, I don't know, maybe like 5 years, or even maybe 10 years after that classroom. Like he was about 16 or so. And he said, I'll never forget what you said in the classroom. And he started to work in the field, and I kind of like helped change his trajectory about money. But it
Wow.
was just the simplest talk. We had this program that you used to go into school and talk about
Right.
money.
Help the kids.
And so I kind of followed it and, did a few exercises, but it was really more about, how to take your money and use a lot of it, but not all of it. Right.
Right.
So when you start making money from a job, how to set some, just get in the habit, right, of setting a portion
Habit.
aside from
Yes.
the beginning. It's just little things like that, right? But
Hmm.
also like being able to dream and being able to think about, you know, it's almost like some of these kids today, because I was just in my grade 8 son's classroom like 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
and it's the same. They're actually, their ceilings are quite low. And it's shocking, in grade
Yes.
8, right?
Yes.
Do you
The
find that
limits.
with some of your clients, that like that limitation is just sort of automatically placed on them, whether it's parents or culture,
Yes.
society, whatever it is?
Definitely. I see it all the time, and that's why I get so excited when I'm able to help them think outside the box, and a lot of people, unfortunately, Steph, they are taught that growing up. Their parents are always saying things like money doesn't grow on trees, or nope,
Yeah.
we can't afford that, or we can't do that. I was with my granddaughters the other last week, and they just love to go to the dollar store. They love it. So I'm like, okay, months ago I said, okay, you can have, $5 each or whatever the limit was. And they said, well, Gamma, is it because you don't have enough? Because that's what they hear one of their, in their world.
Right.
And I said, no. And I literally pulled out some dollars to show her, extra. I'm like, no, it's not because that. Just sometimes here's what we have to use, but it's not because I'm telling you no because I don't have it. So the
Right.
abundance mindset and how we can still help our kids understand that,
Hmm.
there's a certain thing, but it's also a feeling.
Yeah.
We know, I think, if we're like, oh, should we be or shouldn't we be or whatever. But to your point, let's just go make more. So
Yeah.
when I have clients with shortfalls, I'm so grateful that I was able to start here part-time. And I just say, hey, based on what I've shown you, um, could you see yourself doing this on a part-time basis and making an extra thousand or whatever a month? So the opportunity piece is also there, which I like, because not only can we help them as clients, we can also help them
Oh, okay.
and
I don't think I
introduce.
realized that.
Yeah, the
So
class.
then you're always recruiting new planners.
Yes.
Well, if you call
Yes.
them planners, what do you call them?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Planners. Wow.
Especially with this great transference of wealth coming, financial
You mean,
planners are the industry that they're an average of in their 50s and 60s. They're
mhm,
retiring, but there's not as many coming in to replenish the industry. So
right.
the opportunity for the right person is definitely there.
Right. Well, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Because
Hmm.
then you're also in a position really to help develop them too, as a financial planner, help develop
Right.
essentially is it sort of like their own business in a sense? Or
It
is it,
is.
it
It's their
is
own. So they're independent contractors, and
amazing.
as things would line up, that's literally what I did at the dance studio too. So I always
Right.
say God has a sense of humor, right? Or the
Yeah.
divine lineup, because I'm like, oh, that's what I did for 27 years. I guess I can do
Yeah.
that here, just finance instead of dance.
Well, and now you probably look back on that circumstance of her,
Yes.
sending you a text message and saying, like, it's over, girl. and
Absolutely. Now I say
and now,
thank you.
yeah,
Thank you for
yes,
doing that.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting to be able to have that uh, a thought about it, right? As opposed to thinking, oh, that really sucked or whatever. But it
Right.
always it's happening for us, right? Which I think a lot of people, and when they can shift into
Yes.
that thinking of like, what is
Yes.
this here to teach me? What is this here to provide for me? An
Yes.
opportunity to do something that maybe you wouldn't have thought of doing because you're comfortable
Right.
in the place that you're in, right?
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't believe I
I
would
love
have
that.
ever left that place on my own merit. I needed to be kicked out to
Kicked
go
out.
from the
Yeah.
good to the great, you know?
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
kicked out before too, and I look back and think, thank goodness, because
Right.
what would I have been doing? What would be different now? Like I think so
Just can't
many
even
changes
imagine.
along the way. No,
Hmm.
'cause I've done so many different things, but like I've
Right.
always been guided in a different direction. It was never easy to even leaving the financial planning space. I actually really loved it, but I
Right.
knew that it just wasn't quite for me because
Right.
there was just something else, and I didn't know what it was. But
Right.
I just kept kind of following, where I
Following
needed
the
to go
path, the
next
little
to find,
nudges.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
now
that
when I'm
mindset.
here in this space, it's like there's no question. Like I don't question anything now. I don't
Right.
have to question because now I've ended up where I'm supposed to be. And that doesn't mean I'll even stay in this space forever.
Right.
Right.
And isn't
But it
that
doesn't
just the
matter.
best feeling? Yeah, you know
Yeah.
it's the truth right now.
Yeah. And it
Hmm.
doesn't matter whether or not I
Right.
stay in the, because the whole point is to keep growing and keep moving and keep, you know, being open to opportunities and whatever comes your way. So
Agreed.
that's just
Yes.
how I think about it.
Yeah. Same here. And I think that being, helping people with their finances and with what you do as well, it's a really big deal in a great way that we can help others is we can help with finance and help with this and help with that, but it's about helping the growth of the whole person too, in a holistic,
Right.
in
Yes.
all the areas.
And I think because part of what I do too is help people to take what they're already doing and find a way to
Mm.
stop trading time for money while they're
Yes.
doing it, which is a big part
Ooh,
of what you do because you're helping people to add that other stream of revenue, right? So how are
right,
they going to do it? You know, how do they take what they know and turn that into something, some kind of like
right,
knowledge product or whatever it
right.
is, right? It doesn't
Yeah,
even have to be something that they're present for necessarily.
I wasn't
So
right. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
It's super interesting to do that because I think like what's going to allow them to really be able to scale that income to a place that doesn't have a ceiling, right?
Exactly.
Because there's
Ex-
only so much money to work with when you have a job, when you have a 9 to 5,
Yep.
where this is
Yep.
it, this is all you're getting. And there's no
Exactly.
more to be made. Even if you got a
Yes.
raise, what are we talking like 2% or something,
Doesn't even keep up with inflation these
And
days,
when I
So,
think about that and look at that, as
yes.
opposed to like what I'm doing now, I think, like,
Right.
why would I have ever been comfortable with that? Like,
Yes.
why would I have ever thought, this is good? In 5 years from now, I know exactly what I'm going to be making, but it's only like
Mhm.
XYZ amount more than I am right now. And it's
Everything
like,
just looks
that's
slow right there.
daunting. Yeah.
It is, yes. It's
So,
the fear and the limit. And you know what's funny is someone in passing was talking about the gas prices, and I'm like, wow, it doesn't matter. You just make more money.
right.
Like
But that's not what they're thinking, right? They're
no, their
thinking,
fear.
how am I going to spend less so that I can
Correct.
have more to pay the difference between the new expense, like how much more
Right.
it is, which
It's
is
so
like,
true.
it's the focused attention, right? It's where the
Yes.
energy is going now on lack as opposed to on abundance of like,
Right.
okay, so if this is going to cost more, I need more. I'm going to make more. I'm
Right.
going to find a
Raise
way
the
to
income.
bring more in or whatever.
Mhm.
So I
Yep.
love that you're helping make that shift because I think it's needed in the world, like
Mhm.
in the entire world. I
Right.
think that shift of focus from living in not enough and to not even because often like when we're living in not enough and a lack, there's not even gratitude really either,
Right.
because
Right.
it's hard to be grateful when you constantly are in need,
Right.
right? So
Agreed.
i
Can't have
i
those
love
two emotions. They don't
no,
happen at the same time.
that's
Right.
right, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
And
but
with that too, that fear base, just puts that limit and then, stifles everything. So I
yeah,
liked what you were saying earlier is
yeah,
turn that into love. And what we're here for is to do what? Be creative. What we're
yeah,
talking about here allows us to continue to be creative and create. And that's what helps that fullness, that wholeness, and that
yeah.
abundance comes behind
Well,
it.
when we're living in like the spirit of, what we're all here for is to
Hmm.
expand and to be the grandest, greatest version of ourselves. So how
Yes.
can we do that when we're allowing somebody to put a lid on our pot,
Right.
right? And have to work so hard to pop it off and to be able
Hmm.
to actually expand.
Right.
So instead of like getting ourselves into that sort of situation, it's always being open over here. Even if you do
Yeah.
work a 9 to 5, it doesn't mean that
Yep.
you can't
Sure.
still
Exactly.
do
There's other
something on
ways
the
in
side.
addition to that, for sure.
But I would love to see people to like step away from that like hustle culture mindset
Yeah.
because it only ends up being, and I've learned, personally from
Right.
experiences of like
Yep.
what that burnout and that like trying to do all of these things because I really had all those goals. Like I wanted to make more and I wanted to, but there's
Right.
only so many things you can do in a day, right? And
Exactly.
burnout is no joke. And I think that hustle mindset that we were really, our age group was all taught. That's what we were taught.
Yes.
Work
Yes.
hard,
Same here.
you know,
Yes.
work hard,
Yeah.
work more, work,
Right.
do whatever you got to do.
Keep working. Right. And
Yeah,
and then for someone else, and then in my case, when you lose your job, you're building something that you are passionate about, but it's not for you. Again, and in the end, it all
yeah.
worked out wonderfully for me. However, why not build something for yourself if you have that
Oh,
opportunity to?
of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that. And
Mhm.
that is a big part of freedom culture. What I intend to help people to continue to do
I
is
love
just
that mission.
help them, find what that thing is that they are
Yeah.
passionate about. Because it's
Yes.
easy. For me, it's kind of easy. Everybody I
Yes.
meet with, I'm just like, oh, you said that.
Right, right.
you
I
know,
can I can
so
help
how come you're
you
not doing
expand
that?
that. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's funny, another person in our group, I was just talking with her and
Mhm.
we met in person, and
Uh,
after outside the restaurant we ended up having a chat, and I got it. I got it out of her exactly what she wanted to do. And I was like,
lovely.
this is I'm just gonna keep doing this. It's
And
so
it was
fun.
in her. You just had to help pull it out of there.
I
Yeah,
just had to like I didn't create it, right?
right. It's
I
already
just
there.
helped her uncover it. But I
Nice.
think when we're not in that mindset of like, what else is there, you know,
Yes.
or am I loving what I'm doing every single day? Like, do I
Right.
really love this, or
Yes.
should I be? And it's not even working so hard to find that thing, right? It's usually there.
Right.
You know, we
Just not
usually have
uncovering
thought
it.
about it many times, but we
Hmm.
dismiss it so
Yes.
easily, and it
Right.
keeps staying in the underlying feeling of our
Mhm.
life, right? As opposed to like, and even when we're searching for it, often we don't find it because we're trying too hard.
Right. Exactly. And it's
Right.
right there in front of us and we can't find it. We can't see
Yeah.
it. Yes.
It's so
We're
interesting.
consumed. Hmm.
Well, this has been amazing.
Yes. Thank you so
So,
much.
what are your future plans looking like?
Yeah, so our goals are to help people do what we do
Right?
and just continue to spread the knowledge. Our company is pretty unique in the fact that we were literally started to right the wrongs in the insurance and financial industry. So we have a crusade that's really our goal. And the key to what we do is to teach people what they can do to empower themselves, not keep people ignorant to financial literacy to empower
Right.
the others. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's our
So,
goal.
do you speak? Do you like
Mhm.
what do you
I
call
do. I teach on a group level, individual, family level. So, yep, I speak and teach and educate
to
is
come and speak
is
to a
what we
group?
do.
Do you do that? Okay.
Yes,
Sorry, I think it froze a little bit.
yep, we're
So maybe
cutting
just
out a little
say
bit.
the answer again in case we missed it.
Yes, yep, I
Book
do. I
you
do speak to groups of people to educate and give them the basics to help them know where exactly to start. And then after that, if there's more uh, knowledge on an individual basis that might be private that they would want to work with myself or one of the agents in our agency meets via Zoom, in person, depending on
yeah.
location, but all 50 states, Canada, Guam, and Puerto Rico.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Hmm.
well, that's exciting.
Yes.
Amazing. So I'll make sure that everyone watching, if you want more information about Angela, I'll have all her links below this video. So definitely check out what they're doing, your website, and then whatever other links you want me to put over there.
Wonderful. I'll
um,
send them over. Yeah.
yeah. So people can get in touch with you if they want to meet with you and if they want to maybe have you speak to whether it's their company or whatever it
Right.
is. Who knows?
Yes. Absolutely.
But I think that's great. I'm so happy to have you. Thanks for joining me here.
Thank you,
And
Steph. I really
if
appreciate
anybody
it.
has any questions for Angela too, please feel free to put them in the comments of the video, and I'll make sure that I'm checking them and getting them over to her, and if you can pop in there and give you a quick
Wonderful.
answer.
Okay. All right. Thanks
Thanks,
a lot, Steph.
Angela.
All right.
Wishing you the
Talk to
best
you
in
soon.
everything that you do.
Thank you.
I'm always thinking about how can if there's ever anything I can do to help you, let me know.
Thank you so much. All right.
Thank
Talk
you.
to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.